special Thursday morning to one and all. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having an awesome morning thus far. Those of you listening via Classic Radio, good morning. Hope all is well with you also. Those of you viewing GBN TV, let me say good morning and welcome to another edition of To The Point here on, of course, both Classic Radio and GBN TV. I'm your host, GT, with you this morning, as usual. Hey, folks, we're going to have an open line edition this morning. You know, usually on Thursdays, we host various departments within the RGPF. We know Independence celebration is close and the parade and everything that is coming up. So there's some of the rehearsals that, of course, the folks may have to be on the program today, may have to attend. So that's really the reason why we're not going to have anyone in studio this morning, which leaves the opportunity for you listeners and viewers out there to share your views, share your concerns. I don't have anything of a topic nature this morning for which I would like you to speak on, which I'll leave it up to you, our loyal listeners and viewers, to do that. The lines are up and running, 435-2041, both the WhatsApp and the direct line. You can call in. Let's hear from you this morning, 435-2041. That's a number if you suddenly would like to be live this morning. Those views and concerns of yours that you would like to, of course, bring to the fore, feel free to do so. Once again, 435-2041. That's a number here on, of course, both Classic Radio, GBN TV for you to go live. As usual, I'd like to say good morning to those of you who drive along on our nation's roads. Of course, drive along with that due care and attention. Yes, and as we always say, be that defensive driver this morning. Yeah. Of course, you know the old cliche, they say, drive for yourself and others. All right, so if you have to do so. Once again, the lines are open, 435-2041. That's a number to be part of today's edition, and I think all is clear from my lines. It's a go for you this morning. So let's hear from you. Let's see who's going to break that ice this morning and get things rolling off. Of course, it's Thursday, already the 5th day within the month of February. Yes, we have popped into the second month of the year, 2026. Time flies. So certainly let me hear from you this morning, and in terms of your views and concerns. Yes, we do have our first caller. Let's get that rolling off this morning. Sorry, we got that. I lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435. Caller, you could always return the call. I think something may have just echoed through that. I didn't get it on time. Those of you, of course, at home today, probably it's your day off from the JOB. For some reason, if it's your day off today, you're probably thinking about some laundry because of the particular week that you get the day off. Some laundry today. You got Classic Radio and GBN TV. Of course, let us be the ones that keep you entertained this morning. We have a first caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings. How are you?
Doing good, sir. What about you this morning?
Pretty all right, Mr. Telesford. You know, this place is a real fun place. Mm-hmm. The level of hypocrisy under which we live, Mr. Telesford. It's not just molesting, disturbing. It's become fun. Observation. Yesterday evening in your news item from your station, I heard utterances from the thus referred to Governor General in one of our protocol activities welcoming a diplomatic representative from Switzerland. You know, Mr. Telesford, on Saturday next, couple of days from now, the 7th of February, as we do every year, I've been doing for the past 52 years, we'll be celebrating our quote-unquote political independence from Great Britain. We are all aware of this. The level of hypocrisy is outstanding. Listen, in her utterances, she said the following words. She named the gentleman and son, I can't remember because it sounds as French and all of that. And she says the following. On behalf of His Majesty King Charles III and the government of Grenada, we wish you welcome you, ... And she went on. Mr. Telesford, sir. King Charles is the King of England. Grenada is supposed to be and has been, according to these bright boys and agents of colonialism, a politically independent and sovereign nation state. But King Charles is a sovereign. I'm confused, Mr. Telesford. I've been so for the past 13 years. I need some explanation. Can you get somebody to come on? Probably tomorrow morning, Mr. Telesford, one of these bright boys, the lawyers, the constitution gurus, who know all about this thing, to answer a couple of questions, to explain to the people of this country how it is possible that Grenada can have two sovereigns. We are sovereign because we were independent. Lovingly, if it were so. But we still have a king ruling over us. How many sovereigns can a country have, for Christ's sake? Can you get somebody to come in and answer a couple of questions related to the issue, Mr. Telesford, so we can get this thing clarified by the people over the... it's been pending for 52 years. Do you reckon that it is time that we get it clarified? Well, I do.
I understand where you're coming from, sir.
I leave it to you. Listen, there are so many things to talk about, but I don't want to jam it up and clutter. So we'll talk about another thing another time, as we used to say. Have a nice day, William. Mr.
You too, sir. Have a good one. All the best for the rest of the day. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning. Your views, your concerns as it relates to issues that's important to you. Of course, issues that you would like to bring to the fore this morning. The lines are open to you. We have 1 hour to do so this morning. And so let's get the ball rolling. Don't forget, you also have the option via the WhatsApp. If you prefer to send a message via the WhatsApp, you can do so. 435-2041. Or you prefer to call in via the WhatsApp. Much folks prefer to do that. Or you can also call the direct line, 435-2041, as we go on this morning. It's Thursday, as mentioned, is the 5th, and 2 days from now, folks will be having our Independence. Yes, Independence Day. Yep. So certainly hope that you all geared up for that. I think it would be National Day, Colors Day tomorrow, which folks are, of course, urged to wear their national colors. Yes, of course, and wear it proudly. All right. 435-2041. Of course, you've seen enough of the schools already having the youngsters marching around, of course, in their lovely attire, wearing the national colors. Yeah. It's always a lovely sight to see that. Grenadans out there in the diaspora, of course, you'll also be showing your patriotism with, of course, your colors. I guess you'll be featuring it via the various social media platforms that you would like to do it via. Certainly hope that you love this island as much as we all do. 435-2041. The lines are open. Slow-moving lines this morning for some reason or the other. Not sure why, but that's the option for us this morning. Here on today's edition of To The Point, as I mentioned, we do have an open line this morning, which means the lines are open up for you, listeners, viewers of let's hear from you, share your views and concerns this morning. We do have another caller. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning and welcome.
Pleasant morning.
Good morning to you.
And how are you this morning?
Good, doing great. What about you this morning?
Not bad.
All right. You know, they say sometimes it's not always good to put that little word in there, bad for some reason. Not too bad. It's either you're good, or you're all right, whatever, but leave out the bad for some reason. All right.
They say anyone who does not have sin can the first stone,
So true.
So sometimes there is some little things that you could try and live with, cope with, and there are some again that you want to get out of the way.
I agree.
All right. Just sort of I must say thanks, for giving me the opportunity. I thought that I should use your platform to address a situation.
I'm not sure if it's your location, but of course, I'm really getting a poor quality from you this morning in terms of your phone reception. For some reason, I'm not sure if it's where you're located, but a bit of a difficulty hearing you clearly. And if I am, I'm assuming the listeners will also be having that problem.
So let me try and move from the location a little bit. Let me try and move from the location a little bit. Is that better?
You're coming across much better. Go right ahead, please.
Well, actually, I'm calling on behalf of all the pensioners of Nawa. Yeah? We would have retired, and retired under an agreement that once the company get an increase, automatically pensioners, get an increase. We are a body under government as well. And, for the years that I retired, I would have received it on one or two occasions. However, for some reason, it stopped. Right? It's something that we're trying to get them to reinstall. But for some reason, they're not doing it. We would have a discussion with maybe ministers of government and so. Well, I think that you would have known that the pension issue after 1983, right? That was stopped. However, it was restored. And I mean, if they could have done that, right? I understand that it's illegal to do such, right? In that, because people pension, things will remain one way. If you understand where I'm coming from, right?
I'm getting your drift.
Right. So, and they're saying sometimes when you're young is not when you need a doctor, it's when you're getting older. I mean, they would have get all the energy, get everything out of us, and now more than ever, we need our little increases and they cut it out. This is a crime. Right?
How long have you all been experiencing that? So if I could ask the question, how long that?
About 15 years.
15 years now that
16 years, yes. And, every time you call is going to address the union for themselves. We're so disappointed in the, not only that, we would have had that in our contract. Well, you have PW and you have now a study, right? But there is a clause that if they get, they're supposed to get, right? However, the PW had it, TAU didn't have it. Automatically, they enjoy the same benefits, right? So what happened now is they're paying TAU and they're not paying PW.
All right. I mean, so, there's a lot of technicality in this that I personally do not understand in terms of it, So it's something that is open for more conversation in reference to it, But I hope something works out for you.
We're really thinking about maybe taking it to the street or something because, I just thought maybe I could use that platform or maybe like you could have a few of us, come in and, explain a little more because we want, we want peace. We don't want this kind of unrest in the country, some benefiting. Imagine you work for the same company, some getting, some don't. You understand?
I'm just a bit taken aback that it's been going on for almost 15 years, as you mentioned, 15 years. And, folks may want to address, and say, why now? In terms of wanting to make the decision that you implying that you want to make. You understand?
Well, not why now. We've always been, at it. But for some reason, as I said, that we even went as far to the president, right? He went as far to the prime minister. I think he said that he would let the board look into it. And, it could be just a simple mistake on somebody's part. Mm-hmm. Because when the revolution, when they stopped the pension, right? Is how much years it took before they came and addressed it?
Yes.
Right. So I'm wondering what is the big issue? If something is wrong, it's wrong.
All right.
Yes, we retire under that agreement. And as I said, we were receiving our increases. All of a sudden, they just cut it off.
All right. But I'm assuming, but you're still receiving your base retirement money, though, for say.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I certainly hope that gets resolved soon, and you, of course, go through the necessary channels, and of course, and continue to have dialogue and see you could have the matter resolved as soon as possible. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All right. 435-2041. That's the number. 435-2041. That's the number. If you want to be live this morning on today's edition of To The Point, we have an open line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, GP morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning, sir?
Happy Independence.
Same goes out to you.
I'm calling from Paradise.
All right.
Now, government the person, I know when come by independence celebration, does have the whole nation clean. Well, clean, especially in Jerry time, is to make sure the whole nation clean. Set the road properly clean. You say in case you have money treasury, but when people coming from overseas, they must see you're looking good. But for the past years, government just keeping green house, any kind of hole for independence celebration, they put up flag, and they going dirty, and they going this, and they going that, bush the road, and then, I'm having a lapse in the independence celebration, and the same thing, man. And last year, I'll be there, and they say, worse. Because there's some stuff we take up on the during, they have inside the road, they didn't take it up yet. The road in Glen, in case they had the big trench in Glen to put a pipe. But all this stone that came up on top of the pipe system, get rid of that now, man. The whole road in Glen, all this stone, you couldn't imagine GT. Engineers put in stone, loose stones above our area, and I wanted to hole. That's impossible. How could fine stone hole on top of function, which you end up being not tying it? Every bigger pass it come out. Clean up all the stone inside the road and make it all smooth right now. Abundant grass yesterday, that's shame. Bumpy. They come in paddock and repair the road, which good. Put me set up it. I said, boss man, go and full up the hole all about tongue there and thing, all the hole all about him. And come on, man. All about scotch, all about the hole. Full of the hole still, even by the hospital right now. By the traffic light by the hospital, you have to be hole right now. Too big hole. So imagine how much hole you have. Then think you're going to this time after the Green Authority.
Could you think about, what about the idea of citizens coming together and, of course, speaking to the authorities and in terms of areas where you see roads are bad and maybe do it ourselves? The people on the radio, no one tell about us on the radio. Even now, what's the same thing? Pipe was in a month and they call us and they come and repair it, wasting water. All right, man.
The time we get greener, greener small. Let me have greener nice and thing like that. You see the passing every time, no? Pay people to walk, don't come and do self, pay people to walk. Can the minister go up and raise their salary and then do nothing yet? Pay people to walk, this guy volunteer, planting to take care of. Pay people to walk and clean up the place and make this nice and
things. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for sharing your concerns this morning.
Happy independent.
You too, my brother. Have a good one.
Roads.
All the best.
Knock up the roads in the road, not doing good.
All right, man. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT, and happy independence to you.
It goes out to you, man. All the best. All the best to you also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I do love my country a lot. And I would just like to tell the caller that you had previously, if I love my country as much as he does, if he loves his country as much as I do, and he sees a little problem, he might be able to come together with some people and fix it.
Well, that was what I was trying to mention to him, but I don't think he was grasping what I was saying to him, we could get those, it's not always you have to wait on the authorities to do things. If we see something within our communities that we could fix without and just get it over with, and it will benefit everybody in the long run. Not so.
That's correct. But my point this morning that I would like to make, it is in regards to how much I love my country. I've been hearing the talk going around about the third-party citizens coming to a third-party country. So not deportees, but what we call transfer. One and the same. You could call them deportees if we do like, because they're not going back to their country, but they're going to a separate country. Now, I think it is quite strange how the CARICOM leaders came together and literally made some agreements, or not should I say agreements, but enter into memorandum of understanding one by one, and not coming together and literally trashing it out before they actually enter into a memorandum of understanding. given the fact that we are one territory, in which we mean that we have free movement of people, and movement from St. Vincent or St. Antigua or St. Kitts, citizens there can just come to Grenada and without much hassle. I was expecting that if you were going to enter into a memorandum of understanding, that you would probably trash it out to everybody who would be affected. That was not the case. I also thought that what should have happened is that they should have actually gone ahead and studied that. Given the fact that before you actually entered into a memorandum of understanding, or the proposals was made for you to accept those third-party citizens, that the status of the country was moved from one status to the other. Visa for permanent residents was removed from these territories, so that these territories no longer can have persons applying for permanent status in your country, and yet you come to them and ask them to accept third-party citizens. Now, I think that is kind of biased in the sense that if a man come to me and he says, Gigi, your employer come and have a negotiation with the trade union for you, and he says, I'm going to remove your meal allowance, and then let us come and negotiate salaries. That doesn't make any sense.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't make any sense. But do you believe that, just a quick question, of course, not to cut your flow of thought, but do you believe that leaders are having any serious say, Caribbean leaders would say, having a serious say in this negotiation? Or is it whatever's been proposed to them, they are just in a mood of acceptance and just pass information on as we sort of getting that impression so far?
Well, they were given certain details, and they expected to respond and sign a document. So in actuality, it's a negotiation. It's not that anybody's sitting down around a table and talking. Now, just as how they pass information to you, you can also pass information to them. So you can say, well, if you're taking that off the table, and I tell you why it is more of a psychological effect on our leaders, is that if we remove them from actually having a visa for permanent status, it would affect the citizenship by investment. Because persons who apply for that necessarily do not want to come to these countries and live. But the intention is to be able so that they can move to the US and gain permanent status. Now, if that is the case, that the revenue derived from citizenship by investment will be cut short. So the other option now is for us to do one or two things. You move things off the table, I would move things off the table. And I thought the leaders should have actually come together and together move things off the table, such as you have the shipwriters agreement. You have the monetary agreement in regards to reporting for when there's a transfer of monies from into the territory. So if you remove those off the table, also, it more or less even the negotiation in place. And I thought that would have made much more sense, rather than saying that let's negotiate or let's look at it and see where we can get opportunities out of it. Pull it to a point where it would benefit you. And that's the point I'm looking for. Because I'll tell you what I don't want. I love my country. You love your country. And you want to get those people out of your country. And you want me to accept them into my countries. You're referring to them in a negative light. These people want to go to your country, not my country. Would they be satisfied coming to my country? I doubt it. So I'm thinking that it doesn't matter whether we take them here. Would we be able to get the benefit from them? They do not want to be here. We have citizens who are moving from our country into those countries, into your country, because they're not getting the best deal. Would they come and get the best deal here? Would they want to stay here? Or even if they come, would they want to do fairness and justice and give a good day's work for a good day's pay? I doubt it. GT?
Thank you. Thank you.
I love my country too much for that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Folks, we drew for a break. We're way past our initial break time. Let's take it when we come back. We continue with, of course, with your calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Don't touch it out.
My name is Liselle Walcott. I am a staff nurse at the General Hospital for the past 16 years. At the Infection Control Department, we do surveillance for communicable diseases or hospital-acquired infections. We do outbreak investigations. So any issues we have, we would investigate it, find out the cause, and we would do recommendations and interventions to all relevant departments. Thus far, with Mount Sinai, we are looking at ways of improving hand hygiene. Hand hygiene has been proven to be one of the most important practices you could do to break the chain of infection. Working along with Mount Sinai, I foresee that it would be a very good thing for us. They are looking into the products that we use, the practices that we do. Going forward, we'll be able to achieve a very high level of compliance and safety across the board for everyone.
The countdown is on for the most exciting relay showdown in the nation. The IMA National Relay Meet, headed for Saturday, February 21st, 2026, 3 p.m. at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Come witness speed, relentless competition, and heart-pounding relays that will keep you at the edge of your seats from start to finish. The island's fastest teams will battle for glory, but who will rise to the top and claim the prizes? You have to be there to see live. Admission finish line $50. Main stand $30. Secondary stand $20. And bleachers $15. Children 12 and under pay $15 for main and secondary stands and bleachers. Get your tickets. Feel the speed. The IMA National Relay Meet 2026. The ultimate relay experience.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. It's Thursday, the 5th day of February, 2026. We have an open line edition for today's edition of To The Point. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, GT. Morning to your listeners and your viewers. I joined your program late this morning, later than it started. And particularly the last caller, it was very interested in what he was saying. Because my intention this morning was to bring the issue of the possibility that our people will not be able to go to Cuba for medical attention or even receive medical attention from Cubans here, or even go and study there, based on what the St. Lucia Prime Minister said last week. Although the U.S. now is denying having said that. I think the problem is that the backlash, they didn't expect there would be so much backlash, so they're denying. But who can trust the American, particularly this current administration? Now, to kind of link what the previous caller was talking about in terms of, it is insisted that we have not resolved, and I'm talking about the OECS, Grenada, even CARICOM, have not resolved the issue of free movement of our people, whether it's CARICOM or OECS. We have not resolved that. I mean, I think the OECS have gone up much further than CARICOM. We not resolve that. We don't. That shows we don't have faith in our own people. You know, we afraid our people come and take. I mean, the people from the other territories or the other countries in CARICOM or in OECS come and take jobs and all that kind of thing. But we are willing, although it seems reluctantly, to accommodate a demand, as the Prime Minister said, Lucia. It's a demand. And the thing about it, we have to look at that deep, very, very deep. If we agree, or if we go ahead, what we'll be doing will be being, they say the Apollo was on the thief, we'll be upholding a system or a practice that is inhuman, is evil, because in the first instance, look how the people are treated. It's not that people are calling to our face and say, well, you know, you violated our rule, blah, blah, blah. They are hunting people like wild animals. You're seeing it with grandmothers. Unfortunately, most people don't avail themselves to see those actual images because they rely on CNN and BBC and so on. So that's all they get. Most people, I'm saying, I'm not saying all. So we have to really ask ourselves, are we going to condone wrongdoing? Are we going to encourage or participate in the ethnic cleansing of the United States, ethnic of brown and black people, so that the population could be whiter? And make no bones about it. This is not about mere immigration issues. This is about making America white again, although it was never white. The problem is that when they calculate, when the white supremacists calculate, by 2040 or 2050, America would not be a white nation anymore. Because the people are integrating, the people are assimilating, and they don't want that. They want to be the white, to be at the hem. So, are we going to support those things? The issues are very deep, and unfortunately, they know that our leaders, by and large, have a lot of healing work to do, trauma and so on, so they can play and all the things that works in our leaders' head, you know, lack of confidence and, you know, uncertainty about who they are and what they can do and so on. All of that is in the mix. So we have to understand, this is a continuation of what started even before emancipation.
All right.
Just before emancipation, when the system of slavery was proven to be uneconomical anymore, because of the activities of the enslaved, not so much because the goodwill or the sympathy of certain individuals, but because the system was becoming uneconomical. They decide, okay, one of the things we need to do is to prepare so-called leaders to lead the new, lead the so-called free slave after independence, after emancipation. So they had what they call stipendiary magistrate, ex-army officers, religious folks to come and instruct folks who they think could have been leaders. And so it's a combination. The setting up of schools had a lot of that to do with it. I'm not saying about school is bad, but the objective. So all of that is a continuation unless we really undo the plantation system, which still exists here. It exists in the hotels and in the mining in the Caribbean. It's still relevant. And then we take children and put them and regiment them and standardize them so that they have to be followers rather than leaders.
Thank you,
so we need to examine all of that, and it's interesting that we're doing that on the eve of independence. But I mean, it's unfortunate that our people, as in scripture it said, we have scattered the flock. You know, the flock are scattered. We don't understand because there are no real leaders in the Caribbean right now, and even in Africa, that can stand up and face evil as it is. I don't mean confrontation, I'll face it. Even if you are shut down in the end, we need to have people with guts. Now with just mere words, guts that they can stand up and face the evil that is unfolding on us. It's just, Innocent played a song almost every morning about Gaza. Gaza is an embarrassment for us. We say we are Christians, and we sit down here and see in our eyes, before our eyes, genocide taking place. We know of other places like Sudan and the Congo. We know the issue of the Rohingya people, the people who nobody wants them.
I'm going to actually take another 10 seconds and wrap.
Yes, I'm wrapping up here. And then we see even on TV now how people are treated in the United States. They're being shot daylight by secret police, as one person says, by secret police who bow their face. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great morning. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning. Welcome. And thank you for your patience.
So, I wanted to follow up on the caller before this one in relation to the people that are coming out from abroad. One of the things that the Prime Minister mentioned was for skills, or lack of skilled laborers. And we know that, and it's a good idea for us to have our needs met in that way, but but I think by having these people come in, it will affect our populace in regards to work, because yes, we're not having our skills workers in Grenada, but it will still make the matter worse, because it means that less of our people will be getting jobs and being qualified to work.
Okay.
But the other aspect I want to raise in what he said is that if the United States government could put down on the table for the Caribbean to do something like that, we have the right also to put on our negotiations in regards to our people being free to go to America and not being taken all these days away and all that stuff. So I don't understand why we would accept something for they to send people for us and we don't have any say. So my question is, I'm hoping that the governments of the Caribbean, and especially the ONCF, which we have closer connection to invest to see that our people get some benefit as well. If we could take people and they have a right to give us the right to free travel or something in regards to America.
All right.
That's my answer.
Thank you. Appreciate your contribution this morning. We do have another caller. We lost that caller. 435-2041, 435. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. Let me see if we could get that caller connected. We may have lost that caller also. No, I don't think we have lost it. Caller via WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm yet to understand, for 1 second, how there could even be a consideration of a memorandum of understanding relative to that nonsense proposal that the American has been dumping on so-called third world countries, especially after the President of the United States called these so-called third world countries pithole places. So it's the best place to dump such undesirables in their society. I'm yet to understand how the government of Grenada, Antigua, Barbados, wherever, especially in the Caribbean, even contemplating such a nonsense proposal. And in light of, for example, when, one of our highest diplomats, because the Minister for Finance in this country, visa was revoked by the United States authorities. It was with John. When he automatically is a diplomat representing the people of Grenada. As the Minister of Finance, he is to represent us on financial issues, especially, for example, that the IMF, which is the international institution dealing with monetary issues, is situated in the United States. So that if he has to deal with the IMF authorities, the Minister of Finance in this country cannot leave Grenada and go to the headquarters of the IMF to deal with issues on our behalf. Absolute nonsense. And the government, he being one of the authorities to sit in cabinet and make a decision, he's going to sit there and make a decision to accept such proposal from the United States. That would be the worst kind of a attitude to have and to respond and relate to. But there's another thing I want to deal with.
Thank you, caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Doc.
Good morning to you, sir.
Patience, consideration. I'll tell you something. Someone earlier on raised the question of CARICOM. I said a long time before, CARICOM ceased to exist a long time ago. Now, with respect to the conversation, it is a simple matter, It's very simple. I don't see us taking people who has nothing to do with the Caribbean, nothing to do with the Caribbean countries into our system. The answer is no. You don't have to go around with that. And it's showing up our leaders that they're not really leaders, not being able to make that is not a tough decision. Not being able to make a decision on that matter. The question is no. And simple. I understand the situation they're looking for monies. Now, if we say no in that way, well, we might lose X, Y, or Z. We might not be able to go for a visit, etc., etc. That is where they're going. And that does not apply with this situation at all. And I have been making the point over and over for years. The economy is what is creating the problem. If we do not be subservient to these people, then we tend to lose grants, we tend to lose loans. We should be building the economy a long time ago as it relates to those situations. We shouldn't be caught with our pants down. Yeah? All we have to do is to position the economy to take care of our citizens. Therefore, we do not have to rely on those things or beg. That is what is happening to us. And if we continue with that kind of management in our country, I don't know where Grenada is going to land. We're going down to abject poverty. If it is going to dictate to us what they want, and we don't have a say, why do we have leaders there? What is the purpose of our leaders? Have a good day, sir.
All right, you too, sir. Have a good one yourself. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning. Yeah. Welcome.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're speaking about the visa for America and all this kind of thing. Do Grenada sign this thing already?
No, I don't think Grenada have signed anything, sir. No.
Okay. Well, I would like to tell them to tread caution before signing it.
All right.
Make sure they get all what they want before signing. And the guy talking about the economy. You could go into the Grenada economy like 10%. One hurricane come and it gone back to flat. So this thing about you grow in the economy, when this person hurricane pass, and the whole economy gone back again. So this you grow in the economy, grow the economy, yes. That is one.
All right.
I believe the best thing for a Grenadian to do, forget this nutmeg and cucumber and all kind of thing, and invest in put all the basket, all the money in tourism. Because after you can pass, that's the fastest thing to go back. You have a good day.
We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Caller, you are live. Good morning. Guess we lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435-2041 is an open line this morning here on today's edition of To The Point. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Since the breakdown of the Roman Empire, the Greeks, the Roman Empire defeated the Greeks. After the Greeks were defeated, then the British Empire came to be. After the British Empire was dismantled, right? So now you have a system whereby people in the Caribbean could govern themselves. Although we are still tied to the monarchical rule somewhat, but we are independent. And thus far, there's very few leaders who have the intestinal fortitude and vision. We've seen just a few. For example, presently, we have our Prime Minister, who we can call a leader with vision. You know what he's doing? He is making sure that every student or every household, one person at least get a university graduate to have a degree in the hand. He is making sure that we are innovative. Look at what they're doing in the creatives. The creatives is a broad thing. GT, you know, creative is broader. Now, let me emphasize. We have a lot of folks who are in leadership positions. They are not necessarily leaders. They deceive Grenada through the systematic system owing to the things that they've done. They lie to stay in power. They deceive the people. For example, they know certain bureaucracy with the oil, so they push that. And they were clever in terms of winning an election, but did they govern properly? For example, I could tell you that when this government came into power, basic things as repairs for different institutions like the police stations, you had basic things like pastures and suppose that they could have light up. They did not do that. This government do that. Like, for example, making it mandatory to have teachers and so on regulated the education system. And you know the passion Deacon Mitchell have for education. For example, making sure to secure something and make a deal with St. George University School of Medicine to make sure we have some medical doctors and so forth. This is what you call a leader with vision. And not only that, he connected with Africa, trying to bring in doctors and so on to teach and to do different things, because you know what is happening in the health system. Over all the years, the former administration did not really push to do certain things for the health sector in Grenada. For the education, they were never innovative. For the creative arts, they never were creative. A matter of fact, again, they wasted a lot of monies. So when Deacon Mitchell come in, we definitely could see and know that is what a leader is. Not as one who mama guide themselves. A leader don't necessarily mean that you win an election, you know. A leader is one that take charge and control and make sure that they pass the baton on in a proper way so the nation could be fed. And a leader don't necessarily mean that you win the election many times. And this is the misteachings that we have in Grenada. Because what did you do for the education system? What did you do in agriculture? And these are some of the questions. People may love you, but did you love them? Did you propel your country? Were you forward thinking? Did you have vision? Did you make Grenada a safer and better place for the future? Did you really empower the people? And that's what leadership is all about. And we're seeing that in Deacon Mitchell. Have yourself a blessed day.
You too, caller. Have a good one. Folks, we do for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we get into the final segment of today's edition of To The Point. Just after the break. Stay with us.
What you doing? This Valentine, celebrate under the stars at Love Fest. Saturday, February 14th at Quarantine Point Recreational Park from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Featuring all the way from Antigua, Burning Flames. Also live, Sabrina Francis, Rita, and Ultimate Perfections Band, Pan Wizards, and more. Whether you're coming solo, with someone special, or rolling deep, Love Fest is filled with moments to enjoy, like making your own chocolates and candles. Early bird tickets are sold out. General admission starts at $1.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
To the listeners and viewers of Classic Radio and GBN TV, welcome back, folks. We're into the final segment of today's edition of To The Point. We go back to the phone line. It's an open line edition for today. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, and pleasant good morning, and to one and all. I hardly wanted to really call because sometimes I get a little confused about comments people make. But anyhow, the truth is, I heard a gentleman spoke just now about we have to forget cocoa, nutmeg, and banana. I wondering what is he implying there, really and truly. I mean, these products I have grown up on it. We have grown up on it. They are producing so much in this country, and they are doing so much cocoa factories. How could a gentleman say that? I mean, look, I don't want to call him any funny names. And then on the other hand, I heard this morning on a different radio station, people calling and asking to, well, what they are saying is the lotto, and they see corruption in the lotto. And they're hoping that, or they're planning in Carrico in particular, to support this lotto thing for about 2-3 days so that the lotto will really catch up on themselves to see the height of corruption. I mean, how could we continue to keep calling bitter sweet? How could we continue to call hate good? What's really wrong with us as a Grenadian people? This present administration, as far as I see it, they have done equal good as equal bad as all the other governments that passed. The truth is, all the other governments that passed have done equal good and equal bad. But, after 8 prime ministers pass and a 9th one come in, he shouldn't be getting involved in the same thing or similar. We condemn, now you hear them talking about the WASH program. Wasn't the WASH program a bathroom and toilet facility that was, originated from the past administration? And here we're talking about free hot meal. Oh my God. 65 years ago, when I was attending schools in Dominic's RC School in Pedmota, I used to eat a brown rice. They used to call it buljog. Buljog. Hot buljog. So what are you trying to say? What is the people trying to say? Look, partner, all you have a good day, people, eh?
What's up, caller? Good morning. You're live.
Yes, GT, morning again. There's something that's been playing in my mind for a while now. And it relates to the ownership of drones that can be used by the owner to intrude, as far as I'm seeing it, on other people's private area. And the setting up of cameras in one's property that can even be used, trained on other people's property. And I'm wondering if in the process of acquiring such instrument, if you might call it that, if there's a monitoring by the police or the authorities to see that in the installation of the cameras in your property, it is designed or trained or set up to only capture your property activities and not your neighbors, because as I'm looking at it, you can use it to spy on your neighbor, if you understand what I'm saying. And you can use the same drone thing to do that kind of a thing in your vicinity. And I'm wondering if you need a license to acquire such property or such instrument, and what is the actual setup. So I'm asking that, you have somebody in authority, maybe the Attorney General or so, or the high-ranking policeman, to come and explain in what happens in the process of acquiring such instruments. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I would like to have an explanation of this, everything, because that can be used to spy and intrude on other people's property, other people's privacy, and is a critical thing in my mind. So take care.
Thank you. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good. So how are you?
Doing all right.
Yes. The guy that speak a while ago concerning the pensioners not getting increase of salary. Now, I work with Nawasa for 34 years. I am home now. And when we had this problem, long before, we formed a delegation. We went to the union that sent Mr. What they call him, I just forget his name. Anyway, it's who I'm talking about. We went there. We said to the man, listen, we know personally that after people retire, they does not no more pay any money to the union for union dues. So we mentioned to them, listen, we the workers agree to continue paying the union dues, that any time there's a negotiation going on for increase of salary, the pensioners will include it. Mr. Humphrey said, you don't know, he put in that to the government. Up to now, that is 30-something years now. I own. And nothing was done. And cost of living is high. Cost of living is high for the hierarchy. So what happened to the poor class people? Listening to him, I just get from NS, I don't get $300. You understand? So it is burning for the low class people. We're calling on the government to sit down with these institutions and them and agree that whenever there is a negotiation, include the pensioners, that they should get something. Please, I'm begging. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we'll get another caller, and this caller will be my final caller for the morning. Caller via WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning. You're my final caller for the morning.
Thank you, GT, again. But I just want to make a little point here briefly. I did make a statement earlier on, and I just also want to say it's nonpartisan, meaning that it's not based on political preferences or to attack any political party, because in my opinion, if it was the other side, it might have been worse. That's in my opinion. But I just want to say that I still love my country, and I do want to wish us all a happy independence. And I hope that going forward from our independence, we may see something better coming out, and we may see a brighter future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution also, and all the best goes out to you. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank everyone who contributed towards today's edition. Thank you so much. That's what we say goodbye for today.